All right, so we've got something different than usual. Today, we're talking to Isaac of Royal Surge. This will be an interview going over a bunch of questions surrounding the work he's done with his brand, as well as merch he's done for rappers like Lil Mosey and Trippie Redd. With that being said, thank you for joining us today, Isaac.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's glad to be on this podcast.
Yeah, dude, glad to
Glad to
have
be
you
here.
here. It took a while, but we're finally here. All right, so
Yeah, I know.
a lot of these
I've been
questions,
busy.
it's all good, man. A lot of these questions will be referencing an interview you did with R.A.R.E Visuals, which will be linked in the description down below, as well as like all your socials and stuff like that if anybody is interested. But you've been working on Royal Surge for about 3 years. What was it like rolling
Yeah.
things out and getting stuff started?
Um, it was good whenever so back in eighth grade, I really wanted to start a brand, but I didn't have the money. So I started working whenever I was 15. So I started getting my first job. I got my first paycheck and stuff, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I could really start this clothing thing because at first, Royal Surge was like a car club. Like it was me and my best friend. R.A.R.E to my best friend. He committed suicide. Um, so I was in like a really bad place in life with like depression and everything like that. And like I was working, and then my buddy's like, "Oh yeah, you can make this into a brand." Because I've been telling people since like high school that I wanted to make a brand, but I just didn't have the money. Parents don't have a lot of money, so it started like that, and I started designing and stuff. At first, like I didn't even know how to design. So like my first ever design, it was just me and my buddy like over FaceTime like designing, and then like stuff happened, like uh miscommunication and stuff. Like it got interpreted and stuff, and then I was like, nah, bro, like I'm gonna just keep it like us as friends and do this shit like stuff by myself. So like there's no so I don't have to worry about anything because he wanted like a big cut and stuff, and I was like, nah, bro, this is like my brand. Like you just help me like with this like logo that I had the idea. Like I'll pay you for it, and so it started like that. So I got Photoshop, and I just started learning and all that stuff, just the basics and stuff. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I first started designing, that shit was not good, but it took a long time. I mean, I didn't have like no drawing connects. Like I didn't do anything like that. Like I was pulling like Google Images and working with that. I mean, like my first ever like actual drawing design was my with my boy Gabe. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but he drew it was that heart with the sad face and the other sad face. It's like dripping and stuff. Did you see it?
Uh, I,
Have you seen that
I
one?
think I've seen that one. Maybe is it one with like both the hearts chilling
Yeah.
together or no?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like got the tear dripping and stuff. Yeah, so we made that because I had the concept, and he drew it up. So we did that. But I think with like my brand, it was just a rough start at first because I didn't really have the money. Like I started with like $500, and I just worked my way up, boom, 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 boom. And like at first with my brand, I didn't know about like the connections and all. Like you gotta get all these big people in your stuff, to, like get up the hype and stuff. So I was just working, 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 and I was just studying every night, and I was just getting better and better and better and better. And then it was like what I was working at the casino. It was like a year into the brand after like that one relationship because that ruined everything. Like I could have been way bigger, but you go through stuff for a reason, and that's how I think of it. But so I was working at the casino, and I was thinking in my head because I was going through so much stuff, and like I had the heart and stuff, and I was like, I didn't even think of bait whenever I was thinking about this. I went to Zoomies like the day before, and I saw Rip and Dip, and I was like, what the fuck, like cat camel, like the fuck, like does that even have a meaning? So I was thinking at work, and I was like, nah, like I can get a camel going that like can represent like stuff that you're going through, like the ups and downs, the emotions of life. Like, actually camel that like ties in to make a full piece, like the meaning. Cause a lot of all my pieces have meaning. Like that heart one that I was talking about, like sorrows of love, that has a meaning. Like all my stuff has meaning. Like I feel like I don't really do it like I do this stuff as art and like messages and stuff. Like I'm trying to help people that are like going through like stuff in their life and stuff like that to help them. Cause like whenever I grew up, I got bullied and stuff. Like I got cerebral palsy and stuff. So like I'm just trying to help people see like the positivity and the bright side of life, you know. So like I thought to myself, I was like, yeah, this canvas gonna be fire. So I was just drawing up stuff. I was like, we can do a happy face, happy heart, and then a sad heart. And I sent it to Abe, and Abe's like, yeah, we gonna snap on this. And then and then he showed me this star camo that he did, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. And then he drew up that hard stuff. I'll send you the blueprints and stuff
Yeah,
whenever
for
we
sure.
first started. But yeah, nah, that's whenever I really got big. I mean, my other big piece that I'm really known for is my rhinestone hoodies. I don't even have pictures of. I don't think on my Instagram like that, cause like whenever I started doing this camo stuff, I started like like archiving. Yeah, archiving, right? Yeah, archiving. Archiving like all my old like designs that I dropped because I'm way better. Like I said, like it just took time. Like what, how long's FTP been doing this for? Like 10 years,
10
right?
years, yeah. They just had their like 10-year anniversary collection all of last year, I suppose. So maybe
Yeah,
11 by now, but depends on when they started specifically. But yeah,
yeah. So it took time and like oh another thing is manufacturing. I did not have no manufacturers. I was using my buddy in where I'm from. He was screen printing all my stuff. And like I couldn't do no cut and sew stuff. And I seen all these like brands do all this cut and sew stuff, and I was like, one day I'm gonna get a manufacturer. We're gonna start doing this because like you can't you there's so much that you can do with screen printing. Like I haven't even embroidered yet. I need to find an embroidery place because like the person I was gonna embroider like stuff happened, and yeah, you just gotta figure out like what's an actual good manufacturer, you know. So like that's another thing that really stood me where I was and like why I wasn't growing so much was manufacturing because like I mean you could like I said you could do so much with screen printing and I didn't really have big connections in the fashion scene like all these people to help me like I was just by myself so but yeah that's the beginning of my brand.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you guys definitely are onto something with the hearts camo. But to go back to something you said you were talking about like, with your friend, kind of didn't really go that great because he kind of wanted like half the cut or something like that. But starting off, you said you had like $500 to start, and I'm sure for a long time you
Yeah,
probably didn't see any profits from that, right? Like for a long time, it's just kind of grinding to
yeah, not
maybe even make your own money back.
yeah not yeah nothing crazy. It's just I was like I don't really like bringing it up because like me and him are cool now. But it's just I think like he told me, he said like he was just it was just a miscommunication kind of like I mean I think he meant like that like this was gonna be me and his brand and I'm like nah bro like this is me like I just want to do this by myself. I think that's what really did it. But no, we're on good terms. He's working and stuff. Like I'm proud of him doing. We're on good terms. But I think it was just a uh, miscommunication. My bad.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, just from more like of a like maybe not a relationship standpoint, but like a brand standpoint, it definitely takes like it probably takes some time to just like actually make your money back that you initially put into it. So
Yeah, 100%. And like a lot of people don't see like how much it actually costs to run a brand, especially whenever you get like your business license and everything trademarked and you're paying taxes and everybody's like, bro, like why are you charging $100 for this? And I'm like, well, like I'm barely making like half profit, like, but I'm keeping it as a decent price, like.
so like kind of I don't know. For me, clothing was always kind of like an outlet to express myself, and like I grew up in the country, and like a lot of like at least for my elementary school, I was kind of in with a lot of the
Yeah,
redneck country kids. So I kind of used it as like kind of a lane to separate myself. But that's kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
how I first got into fashion. But how did you kind of really get into fashion or clothing, and then eventually designing clothes?
So how I got into clothing? Let's see. I mean, I always was like, as a little kid, like my mom would buy me like stuff. Like we didn't have a lot of money, so I was like getting stuff from like the Goodwill, and like a couple other stuff. Grandpa was helping me get clothes and stuff at first, and like I wore a lot of like my mom got me a lot of Nike and stuff. But as you get older, like you gain style and stuff. And I seen all these like people like around me like wearing like Gucci and all these high up brands. Like everybody in my school had like a Gucci belt and like True Religion jeans. Those were back in the day, and like Jordans and stuff like that. But really, what really got me into streetwear was like my buddy Damien got was like wearing Bape and stuff at school, and I was like, hey, like that's a dope brand. Like, what is that? Yeah, so that's what got me into streetwear. I mean, I wanted like the nice clothes, like the fancy puffers, like all that stuff, but I just didn't have the money and stuff. So I really and then like I never really into thrifting, but I've been watching like Star Life from Seattle. He's big. And I've been trying to get into thrifting, like vintage stuff. I've been liking that stuff a lot. So
Yeah, for sure. He's always like, like finding like $100 Nirvana shirts
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
like Akira stuff in the thrift. So,
yeah.
um,
He
but yeah,
always he has so many pants. I'm trying to get him in my my heart camo pants whenever the denim whenever they come out.
yeah, for sure. That's he. I think he does like a low key brand unboxing series. So I could see maybe something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
getting into that. But yeah, definitely I can relate to that. Like, definitely not so much when I was growing up because I just like lived in the middle of nowhere. But when I went to college, for sure, you'd start seeing a bunch of students like rocking like Gucci and stuff, and it's just like, oh wow, this is like interesting. You definitely take note of it.
Yeah.
Helps like influence your own
And I
style.
like like high quality like items. Like I like the I don't like lightweight stuff. I like heavyweight stuff, you know? I like that heavyweight cuz like where we are, it's cold, it's raining, like it's barely sunny. It's sunny only in like summer. So
All right, so being only 19, do you have any college aspirations or like post high school education you want to achieve? I know like a lot of people I talk to for my streetwear startup stuff, they'll be going for like computer science or business and marketing or like graphic design.
in high school, I was more like video games and stuff like that. So like I wanted to work for Microsoft at one point. But like I said, back in 8th grade in middle school, I had this brand that I wanted to start. I was using Spring Tea like on the phone, like designing stuff. It was called Ozone Supply, and like I was gonna like make it and stuff. Like there's some fire graphics that I kind of like. So, but like I was in like my computer class in high school. I was like we were in like a Microsoft Word and PowerPoint stuff like that, and like someone was talking about like making a brand. And I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to make a brand. And then I was thinking about another idea. I was like, Verlani, like just like a super like high end like brand. Cause back then I was thinking about Gucci and stuff because that's what people were really wearing around me. Nobody was really wearing streetwear and stuff like that. I mean, like at my high school, people were wearing Zoomy stuff and like I'm I mean I mean Zoomies is okay. I'm not a huge fan of the stuff that's in Zoomies just because it's a lot of Google images and like a lot of stuff. Like I'll be literally walking in there, I'll be like, I literally seen that on Pinterest.
Yeah, I think
Like
I think it kind of
so
holds
like
like an important point in like every person's kind
yeah,
of like life cycle. Even if they're
because
like gonna get into like higher fashion, everybody's got to go through zoomies at some point. But yeah, I definitely get what you
yeah,
mean.
that
They kind of got that mall core connotation that they get tied with them.
like I said, whenever I was low, I was trying to get my stuff in Zoomies because people were like, "Oh, get your stuff in Zoomies, get your stuff in Zoomies." And the headquarters is in Linwood, where I'm from. So I went there. But the deal that they were trying to say and like the percentage that they wanted, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do this on my own. Like, so that's what really started like that. And then, like I said, like I just started. Like I said, I designed like 5 designs at least every night. Like it's kind of weird because like people know like I got so many designs and stuff. Like whenever I don't design for like 4 days, it feels like years. Like I really that's really what I really be doing. Like and whenever we get to like the artist merch and stuff, like I'll tell you like how all that led up stuff.
I mean, you kind of talked about it with like your classes and stuff, with your Verlani dream brand or whatever. But I don't know. I guess what would be your kind
Yeah.
of like dream job? Was it always kind of more fashion stuff, or?
Yeah, it was fashion. Like I thought I wanted to work for Microsoft, like I said, and then I went to like this computer class at this place called Snow Isle. And I was like, nah, this ain't for me. Like this is not what I want to do. And then like I mean, I'm always in clothes. Like whenever I was a little kid, I would always try to like dress as nice as I could. Like I always went to school trying to dress looking nice. Like I always try to have nice shoes, and you know what I mean. Like because I feel like clothing is like a like what you wear is like how you like kind of like how you are as a person, and what is it, like it just like represents you. And like I said, I didn't really like, a lot of people like bullied me in school and stuff, so I try to like have the nice clothes and stuff to like stand out and stuff. So I feel like too, like a lot of people like a lot of people whenever I went to high school, like a lot of people would like pick on like kids that didn't have the nice clothes and like the rip stuff, like that stuff. So like that's what I really like. I really be giving back a lot too, cause like my mom's like always taught me to give back. Like my mom didn't really grow up like with a lot of money, like super poor and stuff. So like I be giving back a lot. Like whenever my brand gets super big, like I'm gonna be like how Revenge does, and just like do those like random pop ups for the like throw out like freaking items and stuff, where you go get them and stuff like that, and give back and stuff. So, but I mean, money's been tight since Corona and stuff, and like being a brand owner whenever this Corona stuff and like all these brands, it's not like, I don't look at it as a competition, but it's kind of hard to like sell all your stuff, like have it sell out whenever a lot of people don't have a lot of money right now. You know what I mean? Like people are getting stimulus checks and all that stuff. So, but it's crazy because that's another thing. It's crazy. So I've been pushing like 150 hoodies to like 200 a drop, and I thought these big brands were pushing like thousands, you know? So I was like, oh, these are small numbers. But then you talk to like these brand owners and they're like, nah, bro, like I'm only dropping 150 hoodies, like all that stuff. And I had low followers and I was selling out, and I was like, and that's what really like changed my look. Cause like, I mean, whenever you look at these big brands and you compare yourself to a little brand, you're like, damn, like one day I'll be there. But like I always thought I was like super small, only selling 100 hoodies and stuff like that. But that's actually kind of big for like an underground brand.
Yeah, definitely. That's exciting, man. And I see you on like Snapchat, always kind of like, yo, I got like 12 left. I'm driving places. Who wants one?
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
just on the grind.
yeah. Always, always. I like my stuff sells out, but like recently, like I said, like a lot of people don't have like a lot of money, so like, but normally my stuff is sold out in 2 days. Like my puffers, my blue puffers that really are iconic. I gained like 4,000 followers whenever Mosey was in that. Um, that sold out in 5 minutes at $160 a piece. So that was a really good brand freaking right there. That was a brand like icon right there. That's what really showed the like the camo, like that blue, when that blue puffer dropped, like everybody was like, boom, like congratulations, like all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely a
So
big point. Before before we get too far, what's the story behind the Royal Surge name though? Like, what made you choose this,
so
and any special meaning to you?
yeah. So my last name is King. So I got the Royal from King. And then Surge, like I was thinking, like I was in my computer class and I was thinking, I was like what, like you know how like streetwear is like a wave and stuff, like a wave, like a big like streetwear and stuff. So I was thinking like wave, and I was like lightning wave, like Surge, like we're the next like wave, like freaking. So I was thinking that. And then I was also thinking, I was like like a wave of like positivity, just because positivity goes a long way. That's what I believe in. So I incorporated my last name because that's just who, like that's me. Like Parker absent. So I try to put that in, like, and I wanted like people like to feel like they like mean, they're like there for a reason. It's like royal. Like if somebody's royal, they're like how can I explain it, like they're like known and stuff. They're there for a reason. Like kings are there for a reason to run their own kingdom. So I wanted people like really like I try to help people like out of like depression and all that stuff. So like positivity, like do anything that you can put your mind to, like what I mean. Like you can like I used to like always like get mad at myself for having this like my cerebral palsy and stuff. Like I used to hate life and stuff. I was like, why me? Why me? Like I'm just trying to like I said, like my message and my brand is like really like the positivity and like trying to like show people that you can really like do anything you put your mind to, and your like emotions. A lot of my brand is emotions. Like once I figured out that camo and stuff and that name emotions, like there's so much that you can do with that.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely like follows suit with what you're talking about with like how you're trying to add like a meaning into the like hearts camo and like kind of help people out. Makes sense that you would
Yeah,
have
because
a
there's
name that kind of follows that suit as well.
yeah, because there's some brands that like just make graphics just to make graphics. Like I'm trying to make my brand like where once it's out, it's out. There's no restocks. There's never no restocks on my stuff. So like I really look at as my brand as like art, Like if you got that piece, you got that piece. Like I just want like the people that have it, you know what I mean? Like not everybody can have it. Like that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, definitely. I think like the rarity is what makes like almost like in this kind of day and age that we find ourselves in with streetwear, you kind of have to do the like limited stock or else it kind of loses the importance behind it, or kind of like the thing that makes it special. But starting out, you said the
Yeah.
beginning was difficult for your brand. People saying your brand wouldn't like do anything, like a lot of negativity. Do you still see people hating like this, or after certain artist
Oh yeah.
collaborations, was the Royal Surge like
Oh
foothold
yeah.
kind of secured? How'd that go?
Nah, no, 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 no. There's always gonna be people that hate on you. It's hate is everywhere in this world. I I mean when people hate, I'm just like, damn bro, like you can do like more with your life instead of hating on people. Like the people that hate are the people that really don't go places in life. Like I believe in everybody. Like I mean, we got skateboarders that have no legs. My boy XBX Isaiah, he can make rap songs without even talking, and it's huge. You know what I mean? Like you can do anything. So like whenever people hate on people, I really don't like that. I mean, everybody has a start, like everybody's not gonna you're not gonna hop in a huge fashion scene with all these millions brands and be the best one in a week. People see something good and they're like, oh, let's do something bad on that. Like whenever like Mosey wore my jacket, they're like, oh, but he didn't tag you.
Yeah, it's
I'm
always some
like,
petty stuff.
okay, like yeah, he has like like his managers like don't let him tag people. That's part of like being signed and stuff like that. So and yeah, that's something that really pisses me off is when people hate on each other
Yeah.
for sure.
So with brands, there are kind of like two routes you can go, like basically just two routes that you can go. Um, but you can kind of lay low and not really let your identity out there, or else you can actively promote yourself, like, or promote the brand through yourself, and kind of make yourself the face of the brand, I suppose, in
Yeah, yeah,
kind of way.
yeah,
Were you
yeah.
ever intimidated with choosing the latter, or like contemplating remaining hidden?
Nah, nah. I never wanted to be hidden. Like I mean, there's like I said, there's not a lot of fashion people that have my disability or anything like that. I've never really heard a fashion designer that has a huge disability, like so. I wanted everybody like, cause like whenever you meet me in person, you definitely can see that I have a disability. Like my one of my arms is like skinnier than the other, like how I walk and all that stuff. But as growing up, like I told him like it was like a couple months ago. I'm like, nah, like God put me on this like earth for a reason like this, like I went through all this to lead up to where I am now. Like I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like whenever we're talking about the merch stuff, like we were literally with Trippie and I was talking to Trippie and I was like, bro, I'm gonna do your merch like in a month. Watch, like I'm telling you. And literally, I get a phone call like the next week. Juice WRLD's manager Pete, and he's like, "Hey, you want to like design merch for Lil TJ?" And I was like, "Easy, like I'm down. Like this is my first ever merch stuff." And I like so that's what really led to that is Juice WRLD's manager Pete.
Yeah, we'll get into the merch stuff. I think
Yeah,
after this question. But before we get there, like going off route a little bit, you did say like even earlier in this interview that Royal Surge started out as a car club, and I think you said
oh
you
yeah,
said you started out owning a Honda, and I think now you have a 350Z. And you're familiar with stuff
Yeah.
like Stance Works, where I actually have a build thread for my 240. But what like in general just got you into cars?
Oh, it was my dad and my grandpa going to car shows all the time. Like that was my escape with my dad and my grandpa was car shows. Like they like old muscle and stuff like that. Like I like that stuff, but I like the new cars, you know, like 350Zs, 240s, S13s, like freaking Skyline GTRs, like freaking there's so like you honestly you can make any car look nice. It just depends on how you build it, you know what I mean? Like and I feel like I don't know, it was just my escape. Like whenever I was sad and shit, I could just hop in my car and just fucking drive, you know, just fucking get away from my emotions and just fucking blast music and just fucking vibe. Cause like I mean music to me is like it's not just music, it's medicine.
Yeah, definitely. And there's something about hopping in a car and just going on a late night drive, listening to music, cures those emotions.
Facts. Like yeah, I remember my best friend that committed suicide. There was like one day that I was like hella like down, like I was just crying and stuff like that. And he called me up and he's like, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, like what are we doing? And then like we freaking like cruised and like we cruised for like 2 hours, like him doing 110. And then like after that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start building my car. And then like I mean everybody has a Honda, so I mean I built it to like the most I could. And then I was working so hard, so I bought myself a 350 because I like the 350s, you know, freaking Tokyo Drift, you know, DK had 350, and I went to car meet where I was, and I seen one, and I was like, yeah, that's my next car for sure.
Yeah, it was like my dad's like a mechanic, so I've always kind of been into cars. Definitely like towards the younger years, the
Yeah,
like muscle cars and stuff. But yeah, Tokyo Drift definitely had a big impact on my like interest in cars and
yeah,
pushed me towards. I was thinking about
like
an RX-8 and then finally decided to go with the 240. But yeah, that was a big film for my childhood.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do a drop here soon that I want to do something like that, like the Tokyo Drift, like stuff, like kind of like how Travis did the Utopia, not Utopia, but the one that he just dropped with Future and had all the cars, and they went to Michael Jordan's crib.
All right, but to get back on topic, what was your initial back to the like musician, the merch stuff? You can go off about that now. What was your initial in with the music scene? I think you said like with Lil Mosey or Lil TJ were your first ones. How were these
Yeah.
connects kind of
So
established?
so I knew Mosey before he even blew up. Like we were talking whenever he was 14, like and like it's funny because like I said I was going through a hard time and stuff, and like I remember one time he sent me a Snapchat because that was back whenever we were Snapchatting before he was big. He had a wife beater on, and he's like post this. He's like fuck you hating on him. He's getting money, and then he put Lil Mosey, and that was before he was like Mosey, you know. So no, that was like that's whatever really like we just like gained a friendship, and I went to school with his cousin Connor KK that people know him as. So, but they're so cool. Like he's a real person. Like Mosey's always showed love. Always like his first ever concert, I was there, and before then, like I was on his live. This was before like pull up like even like went big, and I was telling him I was like, bro, like I got these camo hoodies. Like this is not my heart camo. Like I had the gray camo with like my logo. I was like, what size do you need? Like I'm gonna get the whole team. So and we were sitting there and we're at his concert and stuff like that. And I see Neek, his friend, and I was like, hey, I got the hoodies from Mosey. He's like, all right, after the show, like we'll go backstage. So I went backstage and linked up with him, and then ever since then, it's just been a bond. Like he's always showed love. He's always liked my brand. He's always supported me. He has always believed in me. So like that was the main person that really helped me was Mosey. Like mad respect. Like I have so much respect for him. Like he was there whenever I was down at my lowest. Like people always like, oh, you're talking to Mosey because he's big and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, bro. Like he was really there whenever I had nobody. Like he was there whenever I was suicidal, all that stuff. Like he was that person, you know. He's a dope person. He likes to help everybody.
Yeah, sounds awesome. So, when you said you talking to him when he was like 14, right? Is that kind of when you guys like first met,
Yeah,
or?
yeah, 14. Yeah, so what started it was my buddy Taylor Baskins at high school was showing me his music, and I was like, oh yeah, this is fire. And then like I got a Snapchat, and then just started talking. Like I showed him like one time I was like, bro, I'm getting this Bape hoodie, and he's like, that shit's fire. Like I need one of those. I was like, yeah, you're gonna get one day, like for real, bro. Let's keep working. Like you're gonna be a star one day. Like, and that's whenever he dropped Off White and stuff like that. Off White. When I'm trying to, yeah. So like I knew like he had the voice. I remember playing Black Ops, like the Black Ops actually I was playing it and I was in a lobby bumping his music and people were like, "Oh, turn that shit off." Like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, "It's Lil Mosey, you're going to know him." So, I've always been a big supporter, so
Yeah. So all right, for these artists, for this like artist merch that you do the artists
mhm.
have much creative input? Do they tell you like, hey, stick with the album art, or create like a certain vision,
um
or like how does that
it
process
just
usually go?
it just depends. Like, the people I work for, like, just tell me what the album's about, or like what's the main like idea, and then I just go off the top of my head. Like, whenever I design, I like got the designs in my notes, like just like thoughts, and then I create them because, like I said, I can't really draw. So, but yeah. So whenever that happens, is they like tell me like what the album's called and stuff like that. I like work with that, like State of Emergency with Lil TJ. That was my first ever stuff, and I was like, State of Emergency. Like I was thinking like caution, like yellows, reds, blacks. So I did this tracksuit that had like these skulls with like this skull and like caution logo, and then I did the State of Emergency like hoodie that was like just like yellow with like bright red around it, something popping. So like, cause like I never like whenever I first started merch, like artist merch, I didn't know they wanted it simple. Like I was going crazy. Like they're like, bro, we can't make that. Like we can, but we don't want to. So so then I started like, getting used to it. Like, it was like Lil TJ, and then I did stuff for Polo G. It never really came out. And then I did stuff for Trippie. I got stuff for Mosey that hasn't came out yet. And like I've done a whole bunch of stuff. Like a lot of it's just on the low, just waiting for them to, accept it and stuff. But a lot of it was like Juice World. I've worked for Juice World. Like me and Justin, we stayed up like what 3 nights in a row making these graphics for Juice World stuff. So far, but the record label didn't accept him, like because they something. Yeah. But it's good. But the design was so far. But so I did that, and then like I said, Trippy. But mostly, like I told you, like getting into like this artist merch, it was Peter like that really got me into it. He was like, I was backstage, and he's like, it's funny. I was in the crowd actually at Trippy show. Like I called Chris King, and I was like, I'm gonna be at the show. Like I got the gear, like boom, boom, boom. And then like I remember getting to the show, and Chris wasn't answering. And I remember back then I was backstage with Mosey whenever he was on tour with Juice, and Neek's like, "Hey, bro, that's Juice WRLD's manager." So I'm like, I should have went up to him, but I didn't. But it's all good. But then I seen him in the crowd at the Trippie show, and I was like, "Nah, this time I'm talking to him. Like I'm showing him what I got because I'm talented." I went up there. He's like, "Yeah, take my number down. Boom, boom, boom. I'll call you after the show. We'll get you backstage." Freaking after the show, call him. I'm like, "Hey, around the corner. Like, tell me where to go." He's like, "Hey, boom." Stuck me in backstage. Was talking to Trippie, showing Trippie my designs and stuff. And Trippie's like, "Bro, this shit's fire." Like, bro, like he literally like, gave me his phone and he's like, put your Instagram in. I was like, here you go. Like, I thought he was just gonna peep it, and he's like, nah, follow it. Boom. And then freaking, so that's what really like gained whenever I first started talking to Trippie and stuff like that. But that's whenever I really met Peter, and then I just started doing the artist merch. Like like Peter said, like I'm hardworking, like super hardworking. So whenever they gave me a topic, I was working for like 18 hours. I was busting out, 18 different designs for this artist merch and stuff like that. So they saw my like my work ethic, and they're like, "Nah, we need to keep you on." Like boom, boom, boom. So I just was doing stuff for like TJ, like I said, like Polo. I did stuff for Polo. I've done stuff for Trippie, Juice, stuff that hasn't came out. I don't know if I could talk about, but yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff. It was dope. It was a good experience to like actually like work on people's merch and stuff. And then after that, a lot of people like artists around me, they're like, "Oh, you need to do my merch," and I was like, "I'm down, like whenever it's ready." So, but yeah, that really helped me like with my designing stuff because like I really got the critique and like all the feedback and stuff from the people I was working with, and it really like grew my like styles and my skills and stuff like that.
For a lot of these like artist merch collabs, it sounds like it was kind of like you got your foot in the door with one, and then just kind of like an avalanche with all of them coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'm I'm hoping like by this year I get my collab with Trippie because we were talking about it, but I gotta see like with his record label and all that stuff. But that's gonna be a big one. I've been working super hard on that stuff. So,
Excited,
and
man.
then me and Mosey, me and Mosey are gonna do some stuff too. We've been talking about it.
A lot of big stuff in the future, it sounds like. Um, so one of your
Yeah.
staple designs, the hearts camo, we kind of talked about it earlier. You said you got the kind of like a little bit of the inspiration from the rip and dip camo or something like that. Like just
Hmm.
looking at it, you can kind of tell it strongly resembles something like maybe like Bape, or I don't know if you're familiar with some of the like Cause all over prints. Are there certain like brands that
Oh,
you
cause
kind
I
of,
love cause.
yeah, Cause is a good one. They do some real interesting stuff. But are there any other brands that you kind of like look at as kind of going for the same thing that, or like with the same vision, or that you kind of
Um,
take inspiration from?
I like brands like I told you, like that nobody can really get. Like it's limited to an extent, you know. So because I like to think of my like pieces as art, you know, collector items, you know. Like the resale and stuff is crazy now with this high B stuff going on, streetwear stuff. But really, with my inspiration was really like I said, like that rip and dip camo with my rhinestones, I seen that Absent did rhinestones, and I was like, nah, I need to do a rhinestone piece. Like that's just hard. Like, so I did a rhinestone piece. Shout out Absent, they're fire. Parker's fire. Unathletics fire. Like they're really killing it right now, for real. But honestly, like the other designs was just by myself, to be honest. I've been growing, like I said, I've been learning and a lot, and I've been figuring out like a lot of my style, like that I'm gonna go for is a lot of like cartoony, you know, like I like that cartoony stuff, like Mickey Mouse. Like Mickey Mouse is a big inspiration with my character Hard Boy. I like him, and then what I got from like Hard Boy, I was thinking about like myself, like that character represents me, and I was like who what could I really name it? And I was like, I mean, I got hard camos like Hard Boy, and I was thinking of Astro Boy, and I was like, yeah, Hard Boy. So that's what really came up.
Yeah, that's it's.
And then it's funny. I designed my hard character, and then like after like couple weeks, like I was looking through like Instagram, and I found Tsukami, and I saw his hard character, and I was like, yeah, that's fire too. Like, I didn't even know about Tsukami and stuff, so it was dope seeing like that. A lot of people had like the same like ideas, but it's different.
Yeah, they definitely do a lot of interesting stuff with their patches. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, Sukami's a good one for sure. A lot of like crossover with kind of like the artists that you've been talking about too, since they're big with like ski mask and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but you talked about how sometimes you'll get a. This was in your rare visuals interview, but you talked about how sometimes you'll get a sample or order and the manufacturing is off, and then you have to tell the supplier that you're not willing to pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Is this usually received like pretty well, or do they kind of try to push it on you anyway? Like, what's it like from your point?
Uh, I mean, what I was trying to say was like you order a sample from somebody and they think like if you order the sample, you're getting a huge order. Like they're getting a huge order. So like some samples like come out and it's like, no, I'm not putting that in production. So, but samples are expensive lately, especially whenever you get into high quality stuff, not like using like non blanks, like all cut and sew and stuff. So like it gets expensive. But yeah, there's sometimes that I get a sample and they're like, hey, like, are you gonna do the order? I'm like, nah, not really. Like, it didn't, cause like, I mean, you can design it on the like your computer screen. It can look like that, but doesn't really come out like that. So that's what you got to really look into whenever you're designing clothes too, is how it's gonna look like when it actually turns out.
Yeah, definitely for like a
Cause
lot of
I've
these
seen,
more complicated designs you're making too, like you mentioned, like the cut and sew and stuff.
Yeah. I know my camo like comes out like great. Like I like how it comes out. Like I know like that red jacket that I showed you yesterday that I designed, like that's gonna come out good. Like it's just gonna be a red denim, with the white printed on. Like it's just easy. So, but yeah, no, I've been trying to figure out like trying to like design like more stuff that like actually I can really make that I know it's gonna come out like super good. Because I mean, you can be super crazy. Like you can be like, I want to make like a hoodie that that's shaped as a heart, like that. Like you can go crazy like that. But is it like everybody in there, everybody gonna like that? You know what I mean? Like people that have like the crazy like the crazy cut and sews and the 101s are gonna like it and stuff like that. But you just gotta figure out your audience too. Like finding your audience is a big key too as well.
In your other interview, to shout out Rare Visuals again, they talk about how you,
Yeah.
and I kind of got some experience with this too. They talk about how you rate your designs, or you ask people to rate your designs from 1 to 10, and
Oh
giving like
yeah.
honest feedback.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
be,
love I love honest feedback.
being on YouTube, I know that like when you put something out there and get hate, it definitely sucks. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, like with the hate. But a lot of
Yeah.
people will say things like you can get 100 positive comments, but it's the one negative one that sticks with you and that you
Yep.
remember. Is this something that was hard for you to do at first, like asking people for a 1 out of 10? Like maybe there was a design that you thought was a 10, but you got feedback saying just to like scrap it completely.
Um I mean, I pick the people that I really show my designs to, people that are actually in the fashion scene, because I mean, you could send it to somebody that like I said, like shops at Zoomies or shops at other brand that don't have like the taste that you have, like like the high end, like what I mean. So I mean, that's really showing my designs wasn't really hard because like I said, it's like my art. Like I'd like to show off what I do and stuff like that. So I've been learning a lot though lately that to not show everything. Like on Snapchat before you even added me, like I was showing like every design that I made, like but now it's limited now. So but no, I really pick the people I really show my stuff to. Like I show you, you're into fashion, like I show like big artists that like can dress nice, you know what I mean? Like that have really good like dressing that like fits my style. Like I just like talk to people and like get their idea and their feedback because like I mean feedback's great. Like I mean there's people that can't take feedback, but I take feedback as like positive. Like I said, whenever I was making my brand, like I got the negative feedback that I had taken as positive to grow like bigger and bigger and bigger. Like everybody has to get that feedback to grow.
Yeah, you can only get so far on your own for sure. But to talk about your designs a little bit more, you told me that you have roughly 1,800 designs. Do you ever go through and
Oh
prune those, or
yeah.
what's this design process like? Like, how many are you making a day? I think you said something earlier about like you're making like 5 a day or something. And then also, how long do you usually
Yeah, at
spend on the
least
average design?
at least 5 a day. I normally spend 3 hours or four. Sometimes I can get up there to like 16 to 18 hours on one design. It just depends. But yeah, like I said, like it's just what I can do, like a computer and just get away from life, just do me, just put my emotions into a piece, put like my meaning that I want in this piece into it. So, but like I was saying, like I got about 1,800 designs, but not. I mean, like I said, like a lot of them, like actually coming up and designing and stuff, they weren't the best. But I mean, I got so many designs, but like I said, like I'll be making 5, 10 designs a day. Like sometimes, like I said, I got to a point recently where I wasn't sleeping and it got bad. Like I would be like just designing, and then my my mom would wake up and she's like, "What? You're still up? It's 11 a.m. and you still haven't slept?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've just been designing all night." And she's like, "Nah, you gotta slow it down just a little bit." And like my buddy Justin said from Hellgate, he's like, "You're making all these designs, but not putting any of them out. You know what I mean? Like you're making all these designs." He's like, you need to start focusing on designs that you're gonna put out and that that you're gonna put out. You know what I mean? Like so I've been really been focusing on like the piece that I actually want to drop. instead of just making like random designs. Like I was making random designs to like build my skills and like learning new techniques and stuff. Like Fuller Mo, like I was watching Fuller Mo one night, and like he was showing me how to paint like graphics and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So that one took me like 18 hours. I was really focused on that one. But yeah, no, it's really I really be designing a lot to like I said, it's just my hobby. That's what makes me happy and stuff. So I really be doing that a lot, and then a lot of it's just to improve and grow and study. Like I could literally be not even designing. I'd be studying like colorways and like patterns and like materials and stuff like that. Because that all like comes down to the product, like the details. Like my puffers that are coming out. Have you seen a puffer that has all over print, that has fur inside, that has the hood removable? Like, it's just the details, That's what I've been learning.
Yeah, definitely the and like with the 1800
Yeah, it kind
designs you're talking about, it's not just like it's not wasted that you got 1800 that you're not putting out. Everyone is more practice that you get towards like
yeah.
either learning, like you said, like colorways and stuff, or learning how to actually like make the designs yourself. It's all
So,
a part of the experience.
like I said, I started from scratch, so I had to learn everything. Like I said, I never really had people design for me. It was all by myself.
All right, so that's all I had for questions. But is there anything else you think the fans might enjoy hearing, or like stories with
Uh,
from hanging out with like famous people, or good places to eat in Seattle, or
uh,
what kind of music you've been listening to lately? What's on Netflix? Anything you want to get out?
oh, yeah. Lately I've been watching a lot of TV shows too to get a lot of inspiration. That's a lot of inspiration. Like watching a lot of Disney movies. Disney movies have a lot of like ideas. Like that one new movie that just came out, Soul.
Soul, yeah,
That
that's a
that
good
was
one.
like, yeah, I was watching. I was like, what? Like you put anxiety into a character. You put depression into a character. Like that's just it's fire. Like Disney really kills it like that. So um, I mean, there's so many. It's funny because people don't believe anything until they get like they see a picture or anything like that. But me, whenever I'm with a celebrity, I treat them just how they are. They're a normal person. So like people are like, bro, you didn't get a picture, like, da 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 da, and I'm like, nah, like I'm chilling with them. It's cool. Like I'm growing a bond. Like it's friendship. We're friends. So, but it was funny. We went to LA back in September, and I brought my buddy William. He's a big help in the brand. He helps me like show people, like helps me sell stuff. Like he's just an amazing person, outgoing. Like you'll never find somebody like him. Uh, but we show up to Peter Juice WRLD's manager's house, and G Money walks down and opens up the door, and William's like, "Bro, that's G Money. That's like one of Juice WRLD's best friends." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, this is Juice WRLD's manager's house." Like, of course. And then Peter comes down, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on a business call right now. Polo G's performing in the back." Bro, I've never seen my friend so excited. He's like, "Polo's performing in the back?" And like I told him on the plane ride, I was like, bro, just be yourself. Like, don't be asking for like photos and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a certain to extent, like whenever you meet somebody, you're definitely like, and you're like never really met somebody like that, you're gonna want a photo. You know what I mean? Like, before I was in this position, like if I met, freaking, for instance, like Kanye West, you're definitely gonna get a photo. I'm definitely gonna get a photo back then. But I think growing my brand and like actually like hanging out with these people and stuff like that, it like really just showed me, you know what I mean? They're just normal people. Like you talk to a lot of celebrities and they're like they like fan love to an extent, but sometimes whenever you're around them, they just want you to be a chill person. They don't want you to treat them like they're like diamonds. So but yeah, so yeah, it was cool. And then like Trippie, like I said, I was in LA and I was talking to Bear, his buddy, one of my good homies, Bear, Sonny, Trippie, shout out them, freaking. So we were just there, and Bear's like, I made Bear 101 hoodies, him and Trippie for Bear's birthday, and Trippie for him. And it was the You Matter, it was the suicidal awareness. I donated money. That was dope. I did that on like the anniversary of my best friend's passing. Um, Sorry, I'm tired. So it was Bear's birthday, and Bear's like pull up to the studio, like we're at the studio, and I was like, I bet, like dope. So we get there and freaking we're just chilling. Trippie's recording, like we're at the Kush factory and stuff like that, and we're just chilling and stuff like that. And Trippie was eating and stuff. And this is how you know Trippie's a real person. So my buddy's like, hey, like, can I get like, can we talk and stuff like that? He's like, hey, bro, like I'm gonna be honest, like I don't like talk to people whenever I'm eating, like. And my friend's like, oh yeah, I respect that. Trippie was sitting there like walking, and then my friend was just sitting in the corner, like kind of down, you know. And Trippie like nudged him on the shoulder. He's like, "What's good, buddy? What's good? Like my name's Tripp." Like he was just talking like a casual person, and it made my friend's day and stuff like that. So, and he's a genuine person. Like I was showing him my designs, and he's like, "Bro, those are fire. Like you got this. Like keep on going. Like I like his positive energy and his mindset for sure." And like we were just sitting there, and I was talking to him because I asked Bear one time. I was like, "How much would Trippie like charge me to model?" And he's like, "Such a number." And then I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, like I got that money. Like if you want to model," he's like, "Nah, bro. Like we could definitely do a collaboration, like for sure. Because I don't want to just model your brand. Like I want to do an actual like collab with you because I fuck with your style. Like you're talented. I appreciate that." And like I was like that night, like it's kind of it's crazy because you can hang out with one person and then more people come. Like YBN Almighty J came, and YBN Almighty J like came up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's good? Like, what do you do? Like, I like your pants because I was wearing like low life pants. Shout out low life, from Jaden. Um, and I was like, oh, I design clothes. I was showing him my design stuff. Oh yeah, we're working on my merch. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, put my number in your phone. And then like the owner of like Kush Factory, he's like, hey, I need like designs. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, like, take my number down. And I think like after that, it was kind of crazy. I was like, it was like a couple weeks later, I get a call from Kush Factory, the owner, and he's like, hey, like, I need a graphic like done today. Like, I'll pay. Like, da 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 da. And I was like, for who? And he's like, Snoop Dogg. I'm like, Snoop Dogg? I was like, easy. Like, I got on that shit right away. Like, that's Snoop Dogg. So I did that for his birthday. And yeah, it's just dope. Like, just hanging out with people that have like good energy and like that actually like believe in themselves and stuff. Cause like, whenever you hang out with those kind of people and stuff like that, it motivates you. Like, I like, I mean, I like depression like comes to an extent like I can like sometimes I get depressed and stuff like that, but I'm trying like all the time to get out of it because I never want to be in that place. Cause I was in a dark place and stuff like that. So like a lot of people I hang around with is positive people. You know what I mean? Like positivity goes a long way. Like if you're sitting in a room with a whole bunch of like people that like don't want to live and stuff like that, like it's not gonna be fun. You know, like you're just gonna sit there like so. Yeah, positivity. Like I said, a positivity goes a long way for me for sure.
Yeah, I feel that. That's like I've noticed kind of even like the music I listen to. Like if I'm listening to a bunch of like sad music, it's kind of like contagious. I feel the same way with like who you
Yeah.
hang out with. You know, if you're hanging out with a bunch of people who are down, you're probably gonna be down yourself. Or, you know, you gotta get that
Yeah,
contagious
but
positivity.
yeah, no, it's not bad. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like you can't do it like all like your whole life because life goes by fast. Like life goes like this. Like one day you're 7, and the next day you're 19, and it's crazy. And like I said, like I listen to a lot of music for outlets and stuff, and like to like my buddy Isaac Jacuzzi, he's an artist from here. He's about to blow up for sure, like 100%. He's about to get signed, all that. He's fire. I'm gonna put you on. Um, he was telling me he's like, you can have these like artists that make this hype music like Lil Pump and stuff. That's like Gucci Gang. You know what I mean, like that. But that's not like music that you can actually relate to. You know what I mean? Like that actually you can get a connection with your fans. Like he said, the people that you really get a connection with your fans and like they can actually relate, like Juice World and Trippie are the best ones to do it. No cap. Like I Juice World was so talented and took in way too soon for real. So, and he was so genuine. Like, he literally, like, at the end of his shows, he's like, hey, you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, you just got to give it your all and do everything. Like, same with X. Like, I wasn't a really big X fan. Like, my little brother was listening to X. But back then, like, I was trying to, like, I listened to a little, like, Moonlight and, like, a couple other of his songs. But like that was the time where I was trying to like stay away from being sad. Like I was trying to be super happy and like trying to just so I was listening like Shoreline Mafia and like all them like freaking like Future, and I was listening like Drake and stuff like that. It's so yeah, for sure.
All right, well, um, we appreciate you coming by to talk for a while. Is
Yeah.
there anything you got releasing that you want to shout out, or what's on the way for Royal
Yeah.
Surge?
So I got my two puffers coming out. I got the blue on blue and the black on black, and then the matching beanies of those are dropping here soon, probably end of January. Probably gonna do a mini drop of like some camel stuff. I got a lot of graphics, like a hold me tight graphic. That's fire. I'll show you that, and a couple other stuff. So yeah, no, I'm just working. I'm just like learning how to do better with my photos. Like just like I've been figuring out like the easiest way to do photos is literally just get a white background and just take pictures of like that. And I just been like I said, I just been learning. That's the whole. I think that's why it took me so long to get up where I'm at. And now like it's in malls and stuff like that. I feel like God did that for a reason to like so I can learn and like like really. And I feel like everything that I went through was like a message, a reason why, for sure.
All right, well, thanks again, man. It was great having you on.